but in the essence of this present moment, to be able to harness the things that we know that are good for us, and to be able to just not let that go is the essence of this present moment. Because when we enter that present moment, we often are in that moment knowing the essence of ourselves, where we're at, what we're doing, what we need to do to activate, to love, to create, to blossom, to grow. And then when we come out of that moment, we're left with just the perception of what's going to achieve all that. And then when we don't actually make the effort to move towards that vision, that's when the voices come into our heads that try and potentially convince us that that isn't true to us, or we're wasting our time, or all the voices in our head to stop us from achieving something good for us, because they're definitely in there. Some people to refer to them as their the evil in their thinking. It's everyone's different. Everyone can look at it from a different perspective. Yeah, at least in my perspective, I mean, the voices in your head aren't necessarily a negative thing. They're actually an ability for us to be able to overcome them and give us the inner strength to feel and grow within this present moment. And, the truth for me is at least that once we harness these internal truths that we're working on and that we're growing, we can always find the essence of distraction. So when we're about to get distracted, or feel that there's something that's not true coming into our lives, we can balance that within our hearts, like what we're working on and what's actually coming into our lives that is actually doesn't serve what we're actually working on, and that's slowly starting to distract us from the truth in our lives, which is the truth that's bringing us to this present moment. How we enter this present moment, it can be anything. It can be a miracle, it can be a goal, it can be a heartbreak, it can be any truth that can bring us in this moment. How we get pulled away from the moment is completely it's manipulation. It's the manipulative mind. It doesn't want us to be in the present moment, because when we enter the present moment, we're supremely protected by infinite love, because the love exists within the present moment, and the truth, which is giving us the awareness, the guidance, the vision, the goal, the dream, the internal voice, which is telling us what we need to do to stay there, is essentially what the mind is convincing and trying to slowly, because the mind works in steps. The mind works as a slow calculation. That's why we don't always lose control straight away. It slowly weakens us until we're at the point where we don't have the actual strength, and then that's when they pull the chair out underneath us. They don't pull the chair out underneath us when we're strong, because we'll stay sitting, without the chair. But once we slowly weaken our legs, and that's when they pull it, and that's how the mind works. When the mind knows we're strong, it can't just convince us that we're weak, because we'll say like, no, that's not true. We're strong. That's why the mind can slowly weaken us until we get to the point where we're fragile, and then that's when the true evil will come within us to try and eat us alive. Truth, it's pretty brutal, but it's raw, but it's true. And through the protection of this divine connection that we find within our truths, and that we find within our ability to stay within this moment, it protects us, because as long as we're within this present moment, truly, we're protected by love, guidance, positivity, angelic realms of kindness, and consciousness is everywhere.